Hey guys, welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Adeline and I am the creator behind NotSoBasic.Life. It is essentially a one-stop shop for those of you who want to live life on their own terms, where travel, business and lifestyle collide. Today's video is a follow-up on my update here in Ubud. So I have been here for 2.5 weeks now, and I thought to kind of fill you guys in what's been happening since my first video. You can probably already tell I'm a lot more chirpy and lively compared to my first video. It'd be good to kind of fill you guys in of what's been happening and what I have been learning so far on my journey. Just a quick recap for those of you who didn't watch the first video. I'm going to link it up here or down in the description box below. The first video is more of like a rainbow after a storm. There was kind of a few challenges trying to settle into a new routine, a new city and whatnot. This one is more of like, okay, I've settled down and what takeaway I can take. Alright, so now that I'm 2.5 weeks in, I'm definitely more settled. I kind of have a rough routine, and also I have started meditating and journaling, which is really unexpected, because if you came here from Instagram stories, you would have known that I have an attention lifespan of a goldfish. And in the past week and a half, I've actually managed to meditate like longer than 15 minutes for I think probably 4 or 5 days in a week, and that is a huge achievement for me. I really do notice a difference now if I don't actually meditate. My mind is all over the place and it's harder for me to focus on the task that I want to do. And also, I have refound my love with my bullet journal and start using it more often, and trying to find I suppose a perfect system to merge my personal and business life onto my Bujo, as well as Asana, which is a new task management system that I've been playing with. Excuse the the leg, because this is kind of like a habit that I've started here in Bali, and I don't think that I'm able to go back to sitting like a girl and not putting my feet up in everywhere I go. So it is starting to feel more like home by having a routine, knowing more people, knowing where to go. That really makes a huge difference in terms of my productivity and also my focus in terms of doing work. As I mentioned in my previous video, being a digital nomad, it's not all sunshine and unicorn. I think productivity is one of the main challenge, especially if you're always bouncing around. It might be harder for one to be productive, especially the first couple of days. So if you do decide to do that, and if you don't get much done in the first week or so, don't beat yourself up, because everyone needs time to get into the routine. Another thing that I've learned so far was follow your heart more, or your spiritual self. I know it sounds so juju, and I used to be the person that goes, what spiritual, what manifestation? They're all, bullshit. But I have a few catch up with different people, and one of the things that really struck me was quadrant of human self. There's the intellectual side, the spiritual side, I think physical and kinesiology. I need to do more research into that. But for now, what I'm going to focus on is the intellectual self and the spiritual self. The intellectual self is essentially what your beliefs, what you've been brought up with, what you know, what you learn. So it's kind of like the logical side, or what you should do out of you. And spiritual self, it's obviously connected to your heart, your gut, and I suppose from a place of love. That really got me thinking about a lot of different things. Having grown up in an Asian culture and also Asian education, as long as you get a good result, get your professional degree and work as a professional and climb the corporate ladder. But having been in Australia for over a decade now, that environment brought out the, I suppose, entrepreneur, or like the curiosity side of me, which makes me pursue what I'm currently doing, and also trying to explore the digital nomad life. I suppose the Asian upbringing side would be more my intellectual side and what I should really be doing, and the spiritual side of things is what I am passionate about and what I really want to do. But every so often, the intellectual side might create certain mind blocks, such as, well, why are you doing that? Like, you shouldn't be doing that, because this is what you should be doing. It is just an example. I would probably create a separate video on that, because I think it's quite an interesting topic to see how Asian upbringing or Asian education affects how I pursue what I do. If you are Asian, you know what I'm talking about. Let me know in the comments below. That is something that I'm trying to start incorporating into my decision making. And one of the things that I've done once I discovered that and speaking to people was to book my ticket to Hong Kong in May. Surprise! I don't really have a plan. Don't really know what's going to happen, but now to end of May, I have at least 3.5 months to sort shit out. So I think that that's the beauty of Bali, or particularly Ubud, where everyone has their own story and everyone's on their own journey, and there's no judgment here. No matter if you're an accountant, a lawyer, a doctor, whatever it is, you can be whoever the fuck you want. And being in that environment and surrounding myself with like-minded people like that opened me up to more possibilities, and also stop worrying about things that might or might not happen. So essentially it is drawing me away from making decisions based on what if things doesn't work out. Hope that makes sense. So I have a couple of ideas and projects that I really want to work on, but I am really glad that I've made the decision to come here for 3 weeks not knowing what to expect, what I'm doing, not really having like a job. I think it has been a great learning experience. I apologize if it doesn't quite sound articulate or properly put together, because I'm just sharing my experience and what I think about the entire thing. This is kind of more like a documentation of my experience so far. Try to keep it as raw and as real as possible. Don't worry, I am putting together a separate video on how to get started if you want to be location independent and be a digital nomad, whatever it is that you want to call that. So I really hope you enjoyed this update video today. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, because it really helps support my channel. And if you think any of your friends, family, or just someone that you know that may benefit from this video, I would love if you could pass it on. And also, if you have been thinking about moving somewhere or following your heart to move to another country, I really hope this video would help you to take that action. I'm very fortunate to have met Chris Thompson, which was the director of Ubud. He was, I think, the key of me making this decision. I was emailing him back and forth, and he was the one that talked me through it and gave me the courage to make the jump. So Chris, if you're watching this, thank you so much. So I really hope that this video is able to help any one of you to make that decision. And if you feel like you need some sort of reassurance, or I don't know, just someone to talk to. I know how hard it is to find like-minded people who understand what you do sometimes. So if you really need someone to talk about that, or just to give you that little kick to take that action, feel free to email me, and I'll catch you in my next video. Toodles!